Hello, welcome to LexV Designs. I am so happy that you're here today and that I'm here today as well. Ah, this is really a nice opportunity to come live. I've not really been live here before, and today I want us to treat the do's and don'ts in Princess That cotton. Okay, I don't want us to waste so much time. I don't want this live to be too long, and to achieve that, I'll be going right into the discussion of today. So, the do's and don'ts in Princess That cotton. If you want to learn how to draft Princess That easily, okay, without mistakes, come here now and then. And please, if you know that there's anything that as I'm teaching that you don't understand, please kindly tell me, call my attention, and let me know that you don't understand what I'm saying at any point. Okay, so to do this now, we're going to be using a measurement of 40 for the bust. Okay, so I'll just quickly write here so that to be clear. I'll be using the bust measurement of 40 inches. Okay, now to sew a Princess That, what you're going to do is that, you know what the bust is, the measurement around the breast area. Okay, now this measurement, this 40, we are going to be dividing it by 2. Okay, now this means that you have 20 inches for the back and 20 inches for the front. Okay, now this 20 inches for the front, now we're going to be adding 6 inches for our Princess That allowance. Okay, this will help you not to make mistakes. This allowance guides you from making any mistake when you are cutting your Princess That. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is to add 3 inches if you're using 1.5. That's, sorry please, 1.5. Okay, for your sewing allowance. Don't forget that this is your Princess That allowance. This is not just your sewing allowance. Now we're still going to have either 3 inches for people that use 1.5, or you can have 4 inches just to be on the safe side. Okay, so at the end of the day, what we have now is 26 inches, 20 plus 6 plus 4. So let's go to the brighter side, or the bigger side that has extra 1 inch, plus 4 inches sewing allowance. This is for your sewing allowance. Now, this is considered that we're going to be having a total of 30 inches. Please, if you cannot hear me, kindly call my attention. And if you have any questions, leave your comments and I'll be seeing them. And if I see the questions, I will give an answer to it in there. So now for our Princess That, I've shown you how to calculate it. So whatever you are using for your calculation, please, okay, whatever bust you have, all you have to do is to divide it by 2 first, then add your 6 inches allowance for Princess That sewing allowance. Okay, this is just mainly for your Princess That because of all the allowances they are going to be removing around the Princess That. Okay, then your 4 inches sewing allowance. So once you have a total of about 10 inches, you're already safe to cut your Princess That. And don't forget that this measurement is just for the front area. Okay, now to today's class, I have my paper. I'm going to be teaching on a brown paper, so to be clear, let me keep it like this so that it will be clear for everyone to see. I'm going to quickly mark. Don't forget that what we have there is 30 inches. So if this is your fabric, this is folded into 2. Okay, you're going to measure out 30 inches, and because it's folded into 2, what you're going to be measuring out from this point is 15 inches. So I want to ensure that I have up to 15 inches on a fold. Okay, but when you're checking it without a fold, what you should have is nothing less than 15 inches. Okay, please thumbs up this live stream so that other people, YouTube can recommend this video for other people. Please kindly thumbs up. Okay, I really appreciate that you are here. So I have 15 inches now on a fold. I want to make sure that I have exactly 15 inches because we don't even actually need any additional allowance. We have already calculated all our sewing allowances. All right. So this is 15 inches. I'll just fold in. The next thing I'm going to check out is the length. Are you working with a full length of a full blouse length, or you are working with a half length? Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I'll be working with a half length, or half length of 18 inches. So I have 18 inches here. I'll quickly mark this out. So I have 18 inches here, and then I'll be cutting out the excesses so that it will be easier, because the paper is making it look clumsy. Don't forget that what we just measured out is just the length of the blouse, if it is a blouse or whatever. This is just the length of the princess that way. So I have this now. This 18 inches, I already added my hemming allowance at the top, and at this end I also added about half inch or so. So this means that if you're having 18 inches, your half length should be 17. That means you are adding half inch for the top side and half inch at the lower end for joining. Please thumbs up this live stream. Please kindly thumbs up this live stream. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly mark out my body measurement, the basic body measurement. Let me mark my starting line. Okay, so this is my starting line. I'll quickly mark my neck line. This is just how to cut your basic body measurement. At 3 inches I marked, I'll come down by 5 inches. Okay, and then you can easily curve it out. Okay, you can just use your pencil to guide you. All right, if you are afraid of giving it, or you don't know how to make a perfect curve, you can just use your pencil and let your pencil guide you. So I've curved that out. I'll quickly measure out the shoulder area. So we're using a shoulder of 7 inches or 7.5. This 7.5 means that if you times it, you'll be having 15, because the shoulder is always divided into 2. So let me quickly do this so that we don't waste much time on this. I came down. I'm going to come down by 1 inch or half inch, depends on what you want. So let me just come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant. And at that point, I'll come down and mark. At this point, you can actually use a pen or a pencil, because this armhole area is always going to change. So I marked 8 at this point. And then I'll come down. Okay, so I've already marked it, and then I'll just quickly curve it. But because it's a princess dart, whatever you curve here now is secondary to what you are supposed to curve, so you can leave off the curving at this point. Now we are done with these basic bodies. we're going to now measure out our nipple to nipple measurements. You're going to measure out your nipple to nipple. Whatever you get is what you're going to mark here. So before I mark that nipple to nipple, let me go ahead and measure out my under bust. Now, this is the top secret, number one secret, okay? I'm going to tell you now. Whenever you're measuring you're taking your measurements, okay? Please don't forget to come down a bit from this point. Come down by at least ½ inch, okay? Before marking your shoulder to upper bust. Because from this point now, I'm marking my shoulder to upper bust. My shoulder to upper bust is 10 inches. And you can see I just came down by about ½ inch from this marked line. So I have 10 inches here. Then my under bust is 14 inches. I marked 14 inches. Don't forget that I already added ½ inch. This ½ inch will help the princess dart to sit on your breast and sit comfortably there, okay? Now I'm going to rule out this spots that I've already marked out. Now you can see it. I already marked this. Let me go back to using my marker. Now, from this point, I will now mark out that nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple is 5 inches. Okay, this is your ½ inch for joining. Okay, so I'll just connect these 5 inches up. So it's very clear. Now, from this point that is facing inside, that is facing your neck area, please, if you are busty, this is tip number 2. If you are busty, ensure that you take in about not less than 1 inch. Okay, especially if you want the curve to rest well around your bust area. Okay, so please take in 1 inch at this point. So at this point I'll take in 1 inch, and at this point I'll take in 1.5 inch. This side that is facing your neck area, if you're not busty, you can consider using 1 inch, ½ inch. Okay, so I'll mark this to meet these lines. Okay, now you can see it. Next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect with a slope here, just something that is not too straight. It's not like a sharp curve. Okay, you can just curve it out. Do this again. You can actually also use your curve rule. Okay, and then I will do the same thing to this area. Make sure that it's meeting this point. Okay, that is meeting this particular point. All right, now once you are done doing this, you're going to measure out from this your area, this half length, this your armhole area. You're going to get 5 inches. From this 5 inches, from this marked line now, I got 5 inches. Okay, at this 5 inches, I'm going to place my tape like this and enter inside this area. You can see where I'm calling inside. So you must have to enter this way and then mark it out, because we are going to be connecting these curves, okay, here. All right, now this paper is not faced way. Maybe let me turn it this way so that I can make a better curve. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect and extend. So So you can see that I've connected to this area. I'll still do the same thing. Okay, but before I connect this, I'm going to, at this point, divide 1.5. 1.5. And how do you divide 1.5 on your tape? Is by placing the head of your tape bent like this. Okay, the head of your tape like this, and placing it on this area that I marked as the point, and then I will share it 1.5 here. I will share it 1.5 here. I hope this is clear. So you can see that here now, I'm going to come down. My marker is just giving me issue, or let me rather use a pen. Okay. So you can see that as a result of this 1.5 I shared, okay, the curve is lower. And please, whenever you are marking your nipple, your curved area, okay, not your nipple, rather, ensure that you have this area well curved. Let it not be pointed. Okay, anytime you cut it and it's pointed, please readjust it. Let it not be pointed. Let here remain with a curve. Now you can see that I already marked here, and then I will still do the same thing, connecting this second line. Okay, I'll connect it this way as well. So we have 3 lines, this one and this one, plus this one. This one is going to stay, the whole of here is going to go out. Now the secret of the adjustment is here. You are going to be adjusting your measurements. This is after this 2, like this place I have 2 inches. I'm going to measure out this way. This means that here is my new armhole line, and then I will now curve it. Ensure that the curve is well balanced. All right, so you can see that the curve is this way now. So this is how to draft your princess down. And please, this area will be cut out, don't forget. When you are going to cut, I'm going to cut out before you now. You can see that we are having up to 3 inches to cut out from this area. So that allowance that we kept by the side will help you, so that anytime you cut it out and you are joining it, you still have excess allowance. All right, this is the secret, another secret or another tip in Princess That Sewing. Don't forget that I told you that whenever you're measuring your nipple area, come down by 1/2 inch. This will help the Princess That to sit around your breast area perfectly. Okay, so this is it now. Don't forget, whenever I'm cutting now, in fact, I'm going to cut it before you. You can now go ahead and take your body measurements around this area. Okay, whatever bust measurement you have, if it's 40 divided by 4, 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. You will now mark, plus your sewing allowance, you will now mark it. Let me quickly mark this here. Well, that's not our main focus. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll just quickly go ahead and cut this out so that you can see it. Now you can see it. Now, assuming that I've already taken my body measurement here, at this point, this is where I'm going to quickly cut out and then cut it this way. Now, by doing this, you can see that I have perfectly detached this area, this side that is very important, because the rest of this side is not important. So I'm going to scrap this and continue cutting. I'm going to turn this out. I hope this is still here. Um, you can see it, and then I'll cut out the next area. I'm sorry that I'm turning this paper all over. I want it to be very clear. So you can actually see this here. Princess that is here. If you want to join now, what you have to do is to open this up, assuming this is your front, assuming this is your front area, and this is your front area, this is your back, this is your front. Okay, what you're going to do is that you're going to join this out. You're going to join this, and if you're looking at this carefully now, sorry, let me place this very well. If you are looking at this paper that I've placed out very well now, you will discover that, let me use this area because the lines are here. You will discover that this area is longer. This is as a result of that 2 inches that I put in at the beginning. Okay, this is a result of that 2 inches that we added around that armhole. And you can see that whenever you are sewing this princess that, you know that to join it, all you have to do is just to make sure that the bottoms are meeting each other. You place it like this, and then you sew all the way round. Get here. You discover that this side will not be shorter than this area. But if you cut it without adding that 2 inches on top around the armhole area that we just added while we were doing this, you will discover that this princess that will become shorter. You see that there is hanging, and then you will now have to adjust your what are they calling it? This area. You have to adjust your waist areas, and then it will affect the whole blouse. Maybe the gown or the blouse will not jump up when it's not supposed to. So these are the tips that I have for you for cutting this princess that. You can see how easily we cut it out. Now, tip 1, let me run them over again. Tip 1, when you're measuring your shoulder to under bust, please ensure that you leave about ½ inch. This will help you that whenever you are joining it at the beginning of the video, that's at the beginning when you're joining that upper area around your shoulder, you would not have any issues. So you understand, the joining that ½ inch will just sit very well, and it will help the princess that to rest well on your breast area. That is tip 1. Tip 2 is that ensure that your point here is not pointed, and if you discover that when you are curving that here is pointed, please adjust it. Use this, either you do something like this, do something wrong, and then remove the pointed area. Okay, ensure that your princess that area, this point is not pointed. If it's too pointed, it will be as if I don't know how to explain it, but it will not look nice. So for it to look nice, you have to ensure that you have a perfect curve around this area. Okay, so whenever you are drafting on your paper and you find out that it's pointed, please adjust it. So that is tip 2. Tip 3 is that you should extend this area. Whenever you're marking your curved line, you should extend it by that 2 inches, so that it is enough, even more than enough, so that your princess that will not come and hang like this and you will not be having issues joining it. That is tip 3. Now tip 4 is that you should adjust your armhole. Don't just leave that armhole like that or come and cut it. Maybe some people, when they finish adding it, they will still make the mistake of cutting this out. You can see that this was the formal curve. Had it been I curved it and I still curved this out and cut it out, it would have been an issue. Do you understand? The 2 inches wouldn't have still helped me. So by curving it, by extending it and adjusting our armhole, we have also succeeded in having the 4 tips I have for you. If you know that you have any question, I'm still here. I'm not seeing any question here. Okay, I'll be ending this live stream now. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. I really appreciate those that joined. And please kindly give this live stream a thumbs up. All right. Thank you. Bye.